Germany's central bank says the country may have entered a recession in September. 2 quarters of negative growth, and it would be Germany's first recession in 6 years. The Bundesbank said a slowdown in exports was to blame. There was the course of China. We'll get the official figures in November. Mohamed El-Erian is the chief economic advisor at Allianz. Those countries, good to see you as always, Mohamed, those countries like Germany, like Italy, like France, they cannot afford a disorderly Brexit because their own economies are so weak at the moment.
Yeah, that's a strong statement, Richard, and thanks for having me on. I think they would rather avoid a disorderly Brexit because the last thing they want is yet another headwind. As you pointed out, Germany is in recession. Europe is in stall speed, which means you're not going fast enough, which means that Europe may well be into recession next year. So yes, they don't need another headwind, but it's not as critical for the rest of Europe as it is for the UK.
What's your feeling on, before we come back to Brexit, let's just deal with Europe. The reason for the malaise, the reason why QE has had to be restarted again, and I mean, things are bad in the US, but they're pretty dreadful in Europe.
Yeah, 3 reasons. One is they never recovered fully from that crisis, from the debt crisis. Think of a patient that goes from the intensive care to the main room. They are better, but they're still structurally impaired, so they can't walk quickly. Secondly, as you pointed out, China and the trade tensions are hitting the outwardly oriented countries particularly hard. And thirdly, the ECB has run out of ammunition, has run out of effectiveness, and nobody has stepped in terms of other policymakers.
So if you've got the ECB doing all it can and it's not being extremely effective, and you've got the Bundesbank pretty much saying we're in recession, why wouldn't Germany introduce fiscal policies now?
Because Germany, A, is not convinced that it needs it, but B, it has a good argument by saying, it's not about us. Look at us. We're at full employment. Our non-tradable sector, our domestic sector is doing fine. This is about the US and China, and we can't compensate for that. To convince Germany, you've got to tell them it's about not just demand, but it's also about supply, infrastructure, green infrastructure. All that is going to help you over the long term, and it has a beneficial effect in the short term on demand.